Here, our good friend Alex Martel says, I've been trying to get into the gaming industry at the capacity of props and environment artists, but so far no luck on my applications. What should I improve in my works? By the way, what do you think on Blender Substance Painter combo for props environments work in a studio? I know Maya is a standard, but isn't all just FBX models and JPEG textures at the end of the day? Do studios really care for other softwares? There we go. Let's take a look at the portfolio. Now, as for your question, it's a great question, by the way. Like, the difference or the pipeline, right? Like, most studios will tell you to use Maya just because they already have the licenses and they have a lot of pipelines and tools that integrates things a lot easier. Now, I've said this before, if you're a Maya user, switching to Blender, or if you're a Blender user, switching to Maya is not that difficult. Like, once you have like the good basis of, again, modeling and things like that, it should be relatively simple to learn it. So if you're finding that the fact that you are, what's the word? If you find the fact that you're having issues with the compatibility of softwares in your applications, again, spending 1 month or 2 months, if possible, just learning the basics of the software might get you a better opportunity, right? It is true that most people who are doing modeling, it really doesn't matter where you do it. It's just a matter of making sure that you do it in a nice way. So first impression is you have really clean renders. I really like that. My friend here, let me just get your name again. Alex. So Alex, you got a very, very cool what's the word, like a render thing, like this one right here. I love it. This is very nice, very, very clean. We got depth of field, we got a little bit of everything. The one thing I'm noticing is that the modeling is a little bit on the simple side. What do I mean? If you take a look at the guitar, for instance, here, I've rarely seen this like super square guitar, like what are they called, like arms or things like that. So it's important to maybe add just a little bit more complexity to the modeling, okay? Because otherwise it just looks too simple. And one thing that I've mentioned frequently is that, especially for a modeling thing, like there's a lot of modelers out there, so you really want to do some models that show that you can do complex stuff. And I'm gonna give you a very sort of like, oh wow, okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk about some other things here in just a second, but I'm gonna give you a very realistic thing about like the modeling world, guys, and this is for everyone. Companies, unfortunately, focus a lot on capitalism like mentalities, right? So they want to make the most amount of work with the least amount of money. Why? Because that's going to give them the most amount of revenue at the end. So if I can spend, let's say, $10 and get $100 back, they're going to take that over someone that's going to charge them, let's say, $20 and make again $100 back. That's just the unfortunate side of things. So if they can find even a guitar model online that's going to cost them like $20, it's probably they're going to just buy the model instead of hiring someone to do it. That's why when you are showing your modeling skills, you definitely want to be showing them on, again, like relatively complex things that you can't just go and buy online, or that you can just hire anyone and have them do it, okay? Now, one thing that I notice here is the stretchiness of the elements, okay? This is not necessarily a bad model. From a like topology perspective, it just looks a little bit weird, right? Like, yes, we do have a natural loop that goes around the whole thing, which is nice, but then all of this like webbing that we get going towards the circle, I understand why you did it. Like, you wanted to, like, again, keep everything sort of like in a similar situation, but I'm not sure it's the best like solution. It just looks weird, okay? Again, I know that from a texturing perspective, it's possible to just texture everything very, very nicely. It's just, again, like one of those things that you might want to like take a look into. Remember, when we were doing topology, and you can see this on the topology video, one of the things that you need to take into account is making sure things are going as straight as possible in every direction. Because otherwise, when you try to deform things, when you try to destroy things with procedural elements and things like that, it just doesn't work, okay? This one's good. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna give you a very like interesting like feedback on this thing right here. Yeah, I like this. One question that I have is if you did all of the statues, or if you just did the architecture. The statues kind of look like things that you might have gotten online, you know, from like photogrammetry things. The architecture itself is amazing. It looks really nice. So that one's great. Oh, there we go. All statues are sculpted by clay guy. There you go. Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. I like it. I think this is a good project. I like the illumination. I love that shot right there. Now, I'm going to give you a very important like advice, and this is for everyone, guys. This is for everyone. I'm actually going to go like full screen now. You are the first one who should never talk about. Rather, let me rephrase that. You should not talk badly about your work at any point, okay? Like, even if you think it's a bad work, just present it. Just don't say anything. Don't overhype it, right? But oh no, don't underhype it either, because if you oh, thank you, man, for this up. If you overhype things or underhype things, and then that doesn't match the expectation of the clients, of the audience, or whatever, like, someone is looking at, you're gonna get a little bit of an issue there. So for instance, here you're saying, sure, there are errors and some aspects can be improved. With what I've learned, aside from countless technical tricks and things going further, I will not buy more than I can chew for the free time projects. Unnecessary information. You don't need to tell me that there are errors or there are aspects that can be improved. I'm the one who's gonna decide whether or not I think there's things that can be improved or whether or not I think there's errors, okay? Same goes for the audience. Like, when have you heard a director or a game producer or someone, like, going into an interview and saying, yeah, our movie kind of sucks, like the third act is a little bit weak, but we hope that people are gonna like the movie? No one. Like, they always overhype stuff. They always say, oh, it's gonna be the most awesome thing ever, you're gonna enjoy it, it's like absolutely fabulous. Even when actors know that the movies are not gonna be that great or that they suck, they will always talk positively about things, and they'll just wait for the audience to decide whether or not it was real or not, right? Like that kind of review. So never talk bad about your artwork. Just let the audience decide. If you talk bad about your artwork, what you're doing is you're setting a precedent so that people will see your artwork with a more critical eye, and they're going to be looking for those things that you're saying that are wrong or that are mistakes. So be very, very careful about that, okay, guys? So there we go. Now, going to some of the other ones, like, I really like this one. This one is very nice, like super clean render, super clean textures. This is amazing. Good UVs. That looks nice. Again, the really big test for this kind of models is always the wireframe, because you do mention that this is a real-time one. This is not real-time. I mean, oh wow, yeah. I mean, no, man. I don't think this will work as a real-time. Can anyone tell me why this is not gonna work as nicely as real-time? Yes, you can use it. Like Unreal nowadays, you can use it. For a AAA game, you can use it. But why is this not gonna work as efficiently as what we would expect? What do you guys think? Well, okay, so imagine the director saying to me, yeah, my movie sucks. Exactly. Like, don't talk about, like, badly about it. Try, like, my best advice is just play it cool. Just be like, hey, you know what? This is my project. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. That's it. You shut up, and then you let people ask questions or realize, like, oh, what about this? Oh yeah, I'm messed up there. In the next one, this is a very important tip for interviews. Whenever someone points out something that whenever someone points out something that's wrong with your stuff, always admit it. Of course, it's important to admit our mistakes and realize that, yeah, there's a mistake right there, but always offer a solution. If you do that, your whole perspective changes, because it's not the same thing to have someone or to point a mistake to someone and then that someone making excuses or trying to justify that mistake than someone that actually finds a way to solve it. So if someone says, hey, your anatomy here is a little bit like bad, like the shoulder doesn't look right, instead of saying, oh yeah, I'm still learning anatomy, shoulders are very tricky, I was thinking about maybe this character was, you know, a little bit stronger here or weaker there. No, just say, yeah, I'm learning anatomy, I'm proving that's definitely a tricky area. What I would do for the next project, or I would do for this project, is I would maybe grab some reference from, I don't know, like a UFC fighter and try to match that a little bit more closely. Because that way I know, again, this is from an interview perspective, that you have the mindset to look for solutions rather than just complain and try to justify things. It's another important thing that hopefully is going to be available or not available. Hopefully it's going to be useful for everyone. Max Swag says, hey Abe, nice jacket. I bought your Blender AAA course yesterday and I've learned a lot. Thank you very much. 100 on 100. Yo, thank you, man. Thank you. And by the way, guys, I don't know how I forget to mention this. For those of you that are unaware, you might be living under a rock for the last couple of days, but we are having a special sale right now in honor, of course, of Black Friday. It's been going for the full week. It started on Monday, and it's going to be stopping or ending this next Monday, on Cyber Monday. So as soon as we hit Tuesday, so Monday, 11:59 p.m., the sale is gone. All of the courses, ZBrush, Blender, Marvelous, Topology, Maya, Substance, like all of the things right here, are available for a 30% discount. So if you've been thinking about getting one of the courses, again, to support the channel, to learn a new skill, to improve your portfolio, well, this is probably the best chance you're gonna get, okay? So yeah, thank you guys, thank you. What is the difference between your real-time assets and this one? So real-time assets, Wolf Girl, that's a really great question. Wait, Maxwell, you paid like full price? Oh, dude, send me a message on Discord. I think we can do something about it. So one of the things that you can do about this is, or sorry, Wolfgar, the answer is that for real time, you usually want to simplify the silhouette and simplify the amount of edge loops as much as possible. So if the edge loops don't change the silhouette, right, like all of these edge loops here on the inside of the hat, you don't need them, right? All of these edge loops on the curvature of this strap, they're not needed. So from a UV perspective, this works perfectly fine, just one UV map and everything. Again, the texture is amazing. You can keep this texture, but you can lower this like way more. Okay, also, I'm not sure if this plane is the best solution for the little metal cap. It looks a little bit weird. I would just keep it, like, I would just model the thing, like the border of the thing. I understand why you did it, Alex, but just keep that in mind. Now, we spent a little bit too much time on your portfolio, man, so I'm gonna stop it here. But again, go for more complex models would be my first advice, and add a little bit more visual interest to the elements as well. Like here, this bench, too uniform. Textures are way too uniform right here. Mustafa38 says, yeah, my program instructors get quite annoyed when someone gives excuses instead of admitting. Yeah, just admit it. And if you don't know how to fix it, like if you don't know how to handle something, just say that. There's absolutely nothing wrong. The reason why we're here as teachers is to guide you, to help you in that, like, in that process, right?